So the Ortho Pearls Facebook group has been very aware of all the changes of Invisalign. I really appreciate everyone's input. It's taught me a lot. I thought I would share what we're using as our best aesthetic option, Inbrace. It's our new wowism in our practice. And the big difference between Inbrace and all other lingual systems is the vertical slot versus a horizontal slot. And the smart wire is the wire that connects and engages into the vertical slot, and you have total 3D control, tip, torque, in and out, closing spaces, opening spaces. It's all built into that wire using robotic technology. So here is the smart wire, and this is really the genius behind this system, is the vertical slot with everything built into that wire. So I've just got a couple of cases I'm going to share with you, and the big difference I've noticed is how accurate the indirect bonding trays fit, and just engage that wire just from day one with precision. So here is an anterior image, and just 7 weeks later you can see the teeth are starting to align, and in the lower arch you can see pretty dramatic changes in just 7 weeks. And granted, that's not finished, but it's also only 7 weeks. So here's another case, a patient that has a mild anterior open bite. We did an interesting sort of a documentation of her speech for the first 2 months. So I'm going to share that with you, and you'll see her progress after 2 months. But the ClinCheck on Inbrace has one major difference, and that is this is your final setup, and we will achieve this final setup without 2 years of multiple revisions. This will occur in probably 6 to 8 months. And the big difference is between the Invisalign occlusogram and Inbrace occlusogram is this occlusogram we're actually going to be able to achieve because we don't have anything in between the teeth. This is what she looks like day of delivery. You can see there is some in and out pressure on those wires to align those teeth. So, we'll just change that wire every 2 months, and in 6 to 8 months she should be treated. This is what she looks like after 2 months. She has the second wire was just placed on this day like a week ago, actually last week, and she is just right at 2 months. I'm going to take a few minutes and you can listen to her speech for the first 2 months.
She just got her lower lingual and upper lingual braces. Right now she has some Gushigu for comfort. We want her to make sure she's not going to be sore. That's why you see that putty miss right there. And I just kind of went over instructions. Flossing, brushing instructions. Waterpick is going to be her best friend. I pretty much told her she has to practice her speech. Singing in the car will actually help, and it'd be fun, but it'll help her speech get better. So far, how does your tongue feel?
It's going to get a little used to speaking.
But warm saltwater rinses, it'll help heal up any soreness on your tongue.
Okay, so repeat after me. 55.
55.
66.
66.
77 Sunset Strip.
77 Sunset Strip.
Oh, you're going to do great.
Good job. You're great. We have no issues.
All right.
Miss Lindsay, how are you doing so far with 2 weeks with lingual braces on?
I think I'm doing very well as far as speech goes.
Good. Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
Yes.
And have you had to use wax or Gushigu for comfort as much?
Just the first 2 days about.
So everything's getting easier. Yeah. Okay. But you can't even notice them. Good. Any issues so far?
No issues.
No issues. Just one tie that came off that was pretty easy to come.
Yes.
Come in and place it back on.
Yes.
They look really good. You're keeping it really, really clean.
So say 55.
55.
66.
66.
77 Sunset Strip.
77 Sunset Strip.
I can't even tell.
Good job.
Awesome.
No, they look really good.
Good.
Okay, this is Stephanie. She's an Inbrace. She's 2 months in. Open up a little bit. You can see her braces. She just got an adjustment today. And how's your speech so far in 2 months?
It's good. It's back to normal, I think, for the most part.
Yeah. Any sort of discomfort so far?
No.
No? Okay. She's doing really well. She just had her little adjustment today. She got new wires. And we took some progress photos just to kind of compare when she first started to right now. But she seems to be doing really good.
Okay, Stephanie, so you know the routine. Say 55,
55,
66,
66,
77 Sunset Strip.
77 Sunset Strip.
Good job.
So you can see this is pretty typical. Adults take about 2 weeks to get to that confident speaking stage, and after 2 months you can't tell. What I'm finding with teens and preteens is that learning speaking curve is much faster. It's usually days. So here's a teen that we started back, the records were dated back in April of 2016. We actually started her treatment around December of 2017. We used a device called Crossbow, which is our Class 2 corrector. Pretty much anything will work. We like the Crossbow because it's just simply the fastest. It's like the best, most precise way to apply Class 2 correction springs. We were using the Opal spring at the time, and that spring is no longer available. You can use a Forces spring, it does the same thing. So that's what she looks like after 3.5 to 4 months, 3.5 months of active spring force. We take that out, and our goal is when we take the spring out, we want the upper first bicuspid to be a half cusp class 3. So half cusp class 3 on both first premolars. And you always account for some rebound. So you can see on her left side it's socked in pretty well. On her right side she's a little class 2. So we'll correct that with class 2 elastics when we get the fixed appliances in. So she opted for Inbrace, and we knew we would need some class 2 finishing elastics. So we have hooks. We have these 3D printed copolymer hooks in the upper and just regular flat looped attachments on the lower. This is the second arch wire change. She's been in Inbrace. We started on her lowers just to upright the lower posterior segments, and then 2 months later we delivered the upper Inbrace. And so she's been in Inbrace for about 4 months now, and you can see we still have some spacing. The midline discrepancy is slight. And, what we'll probably do with her, she doesn't have the third wire in yet. It's been advised. The people at Inbrace looked at this and said, we'll take the wires out at her next visit and rescan her, and they will make a custom third wire for her to finish her case. So I fully expect this case to finish. We're 8 months of active treatment. We had 1 month of rebound. So we're 9 months into this. I fully expect this case to be finished in a year or less, which is pretty amazing for a class 2 case. So that's what we have. We're really excited about Inbrace. We think it's just an amazing technology and should take over the lingual market, the best I can see. I've not seen anything out there like this. Thanks a lot for watching, and my number's on the front end of this. If you ever want to text me, reach me on Facebook. Just let me know. Thanks a lot.